or my glasses. Good afternoon, Graysdale, and good evening to all. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day today. So today is Self-Wisdom Day, and we're going to be sharing something for Self-Wisdom Day. We're going to be sharing the 4 life goal agreements written by Don Ruiz, and I'm going to read to you each of them. Here are the 4 agreements right here. The first one we have is being impeccable with your words. The second one we have is don't take anything personally. The third is don't make any assumptions. Fine.
Always.
And the fourth one is
always do your best.
Now each 4 of these have a special meaning on what they could be saying. So the first one, when it says be impactful with your words, Don Ruiz says, speak with integrity, say only what you mean, avoid using the words to speak against yourself, or to gossip about others. Use the power of the word in the direction of truth and love. Very powerful words to say when you're trying to impact your own word. And number 2, he says, again, like I said, do not take anything personally. What he also meant by this is nothing others do is because of you. What others say or do is protection in their own reality, their own dreams. You are immune to the opinions or actions of others. Be with yourself. He means this because when you try to say stuff based off of other people's opinions of you, you tend to follow that need of understanding. In reality, you should just listen to your own self-reflection. And his third agreement, he says, don't make assumptions. Find the courage to ask a question, to express what you really want. Communications with others as clearly as you can avoid. Misunderstanding, sadness, and drama. With just this one agreement, you can completely transform your life. We all heard the rules, do not make an assumption because of the catchphrase. I'm not going to say the catchphrase. But it is true. If you make assumptions, you're basically basing off of things that you're not understanding fully. You want to always ask the question. If you're not sure of something, ask something. Even if you feel like it's a dumb question, at least you attempted to help yourself. The fourth agreement, he says, always do your best. Your best is going to change from moment to moment. It will be different when you are healthy or opposed when you are sick. Under any circumstance, simply do your best, and you will avoid self-judgment, self-abuse, and self-regret. And as we're going on to the end of the fourth agreement, it is true to always follow yourself in your stature. Try to find yourself as like a good self-worth, because everyone can judge you all worthily less, but you can be the last one to actually truly feel yourself well. So with Don Ruiz's 4 agreements, that is the 4 agreements that we'll be saying. I hope that you guys can take each of these things in your actions. I know a lot of you residents are all really based up and based a little basically. So I hope that you guys can take some of this stuff and teach like people my age or even similar people your age or even someone older than you to like tell you, hey, there's still work to do. Because honestly, with like the impacts of each of these agreements, they know how to base off of themselves. So with the self-wisdom of this nursing care, we understand that we are still like wondering what's the purpose of still going on, how we end up doing stuff as well. And we have to understand that like due to self-worthiness, we have to understand that we still have an impact in life. Though we may not be doing something, we are doing something stronger than we can towards others. Yes, staying in your room can be boring, but it's actually a lot better for someone. That way no one else can get sick. So when you try to do the 4 agreements of life, just understand to just impact yourself very worthily higher on yourself. We will soon be showing you guys a video of self-worth as well. Also, I can take a moment of this thing to like have a little silent time to just enjoy ourselves and really feel really well with it. So we're going to show some inspirational quotes on what it feels like to be well. And a quote that I actually like myself, so to begin it off is I'll say this: be not afraid of what you can't do, but be afraid of what you didn't do. For those of you that did not try, you actually wasted your time and you didn't know the real time. That quote is from John Carver, who's an American author. And I hope you guys enjoy these quotes. Thank you.
Be what you are. This is the first towards becoming better than you are. Be yourself, always yourself, better self. Your self-worth determined by you. You don't have to depend on someone to tell you who you are. To be yourself in a world that you constantly try and make yourself always be yourself, especially yourself, have faith in yourself. You go on look for self-improvement. Be who you are and say what you feel, because those who know and those who don't even compare yourself to others. You are not a copy, you're an original copy of and self-disguise, and just be yourself. You just have to be yourself and go forward with confidence and be courage. Don't try to impress people, be yourself. Don't let others define you. Don't worry what people say or what people think. Be yourself. To be beautiful means to be yourself. You don't need to be accepted by others. You need to accept yourself. Always be the first-rate vision of yourself instead of a second-rate vision of somebody else. Be stupid, be dumb, be funny if that's who you are. Don't try to be someone that socially wants to be. That stupid should be you. Always remember, be yourself. Everyone else already taken. Thank you for watching.
So why is these experts saying they may pose a risk to others?
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed inspirational. I know I sure did. I'm going to give you guys a bit of some type of self-care that there are in this world that we can use while we're here at Great Scale. There's the social self-care and the mental self-care. Now, I say the social self-care because apparently our understanding that we have to be in a social distancing setting. But it doesn't mean that we can't still talk to our loved ones and family. With like technology and how it is nowadays, we still can like tell our loved ones and all that stuff that we love them and all that stuff. Sending a letter and all that stuff is very great for oneself. Make friends with the nurses that take care of you. Make friends with the residents of your room as well. Because in these lonely times where everyone's feeling a little bit down, it's always good to at least have somewhat of one's self-love to itself. So when we're doing social self-care, yes, we know that it's hard to not make friends so well during these times, but it's always good to have the care and feeling of those that we do have. Another self-care I want to do is mental self-care. And this one I want to do is mainly because I want you to keep your minds focused, read a book, take a puzzle apart, put it back together, play a math game like Sudoku or Word or something like that. And you want to just keep your mind as like an active movement. Because the mind is a muscle that is basically, it's very healthy to keep your mental awareness just as healthy as your physical awareness as well. Because when you're feeling mentally down, you have to understand that you have to be a little bit well. Another self-care I want to do is emotional self-care. Now I know a lot of us feel uncomfortable being around people that we don't know so much, or being in a state of like matter that others have to take care of us, and we feel like we're angry and anxious all the time, or we're just sad because we can't do things on our own. Understand these uncomfortable feelings are emotions. But to feel an emotional self-care, you have to understand you have to right yourself in that aspect. Instead of feeling low, how about we feel it as a positive sign? Yes, I don't know the person taking care of me, but at least someone's there to take care of me when I can take care of myself. You try to look at a positive side in every aspect. Because these are moments where you're trying to take self-work and take yourself needed is very well to understand these deviations. And also, with the spiritual self-care, whether you're religious or spiritual, understand that there's still an aspect of you that has to understand that you want something more greater in life. You don't want to live life as a sourpuss all the time. Or you do, Some nice little tips for like some good mental self-care is try to at least read 4 quotes a day from an author. Very good. As well, another type of mental self-care is try to practice an object of which you are not familiar with. If you are bad at math, practice a game with math. If you are bad at reading, practice a game with words. If you are bad at both, practice a game that deals with learning more. Alright, so we're going to give you guys another video again, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video as well.
Over is how you react to whatever happens in your life. What I now know is that we all become exactly what you believe. So if you believe that you can do all things because you have been endowed by a power from on high, given to you by the grace of God, you believe that, you walk into the world understanding that whatever problems you may encounter, you still have God to lean on. As I grew, my perception and understanding of what God means grew with me. I expanded my view of what it means to be a citizen of the universe, to be a part of the energy field that is omnipotent, omniscient, all-knowing, and all-present in all things. And so my confidence comes from knowing that there is something greater than myself that I am a part of and is also a part of me. I call that God, but I do nothing without that understanding. How I think one masters one's life is to understand that you are co-creating that life with the ultimate creator. Not understanding that puts you at your own pitiful, meager little will. And everything is left up to you. And you can't do it. You cannot survive in this world by yourself, just believing in yourself. You're not big enough to do it. I'm not big enough to do it. Nobody's big enough to do it. you have to understand that your very presence here as a human being on earth came from something greater than you. And not just your parents who wanted to have a child. The fact that that egg was hit by that particular little sperm in that particular moment, and you were created. Wow. How amazing is that? Of all the different choices that had to happen in order for you to be here now. What a celebration that is. So when you recognize the mystery of that creation, all the circumstances that had to configure and reconfigure themselves, all the questions that we don't have answers to, you have to know this. The fact that I'm here matters. The fact that you're there matters. This is no accident. None of us are. When you do well, people notice. When you do your best, people notice. And so wherever you are, always do your best. And doing your best puts you at the next level. Nothing about my life is lucky. Nothing. A lot of grace, a lot of blessings, a lot of divine order. But I don't believe in luck. For me, luck is preparation, meeting the moment of opportunity. There is no luck without you being prepared to handle that moment of opportunity. And so what I would say for myself is that because of my hand in a hand and a force greater than my own, I have been prepared in ways that I didn't even know I was being prepared for. And the truth is, for me and for every person, every single thing that has ever happened in your life is preparing you for the moment that is to come. A lot of people don't know their purpose. And if you don't know your purpose, your immediate goal is to figure that out. Because otherwise you're just wandering around here. So the moment you can figure out what it is you're supposed to be doing, the sooner you are able to get about the business of doing that. The universe speaks to us always, first, in whispers. And a whisper usually in your life feels like, that's odd. Or, that doesn't make any sense. Or, is that right? It just really feels like that. It's that kind of subtle. And if you don't pay attention to the whisper, it gets louder and louder and louder. And I say, it's like getting thumped upside the head. You don't pay attention to that. It's like getting a brick upside your head. You don't pay attention to that. The brick wall falls down. Life is about growth and change. When you are no longer doing that, that is your whisper. That is your whisper that I am supposed to do something else. I am interested in seeing what the rest of the world has to offer me. Anybody pretending to be anything other than who you really are, you will never, ever reach your personal potential. You cannot do it. I have known for a very long time that I am a blessed person, and that to whom much is given, much is also required. That you can't have all of this and not use it for something that is for the greater good. Your intention rules your life and determines the outcome. Every time it would happen, I would say to my team, well, it doesn't matter, because every season somebody else was coming out. One talk show, two talk shows, three talk shows. There have been over 100 talk shows since we started. But every time, I would feel like, all right, gotta step up our game. Gotta step up our game. The way you step up your game is not to worry about the other guy in any situation, because you can't control the other guy. You cannot control the other guy. You only have control over yourself. So it's like running a race. The energy that it takes to look back and see where the other guys are takes energy away from you. And if they're too close, it scares you. So that's what I would say to my team all the time. Don't waste your time in the race looking back to see where the other guy is or what the other guy is doing. It's not about the other guy. It's about what can you do. You just need to run that race as hard as you can. You need to give it everything you've got all the time for yourself. For yourself. What I know is you got to take responsibility for the space you hold here. And understand that the third law of motion, which says for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction, that is my religion. That is the fundamental construct of my religion. And by that I mean, I know that every thought that I think, every thought that I have that moves into action is going to create an opposite and equal reaction. So everything that I put out into the world is going to come back. It's the golden rule on steroids. The golden rule on steroids, it's true. That as you do unto others, they will do unto you. It's already done. There's an energy field, there's an energy flow that I strongly feel in my own life. And I know lots of other people who do. You're either in flow or out of it. And if you're in flow, it's like this. It's like this. All the time. It's like this. It's like flowing with the stream. And the flow is in direct proportion to the center of yourself, where God abides, where universal energy abides, where the divine within you abides. How far you are from the center, from the divineness of yourself, from your connection to source energy, that which created you, is how out of sync you are with your life, regardless of what you call it. When you can align with that, nobody can touch you. Gary Zukov calls that authentic power. In his book, Seed of the Soul, he says, when your personality comes to serve the energy of your soul, that is authentic power. And that's the only real power there is, because you don't lose everything else. I don't care how beautiful you are. One day, your breasts are going to sag and your eyes are going to bag and you're not going to be as beautiful. And it doesn't matter how much Botox and how many times you get yourself pulled up and how many hairdos and how many makeovers or what you do. You know, it doesn't last. It's just like the most beautiful flowering tree. Everything passes in its time. It doesn't matter how much money you have, how much power you have, how high you sit on the Forbes list, how many times you make the most influential list. All of that changes. All of that changes. But what is real? What is lasting is who you are and what you were meant to bring. What is the gift you were meant to give? And nobody can take that away from you.
Thank you for watching.
I hope you guys enjoyed free chat about wisdom, growing from what it is and what it is to understand what it is and grow faster. I know I did as well. I'm going to continue reading off self-care about each other. And I'm going to do physical self-care. I don't know a lot of you residents tune into my exercises that I do with you guys and all that stuff. And I hope you guys are into that. But physical self-care is actually very important. Because when you're not happy with yourself, you're not going to really be happy. You tend to show this thing called fake happiness. And that's not really a good way to show self-worth. Now, I know we understand that like our self-worth is something bigger than what we don't understand. We want to do a little bit greater than that. We want to show a very good aspect of each other very well. So when I do these exercises, with you guys, and I want you guys to know that I'm doing just like it, like hope you guys do really well. So when we do the physical self-care, we want to have a very understanding of like really, truly giving ourselves a nice little time. Because we might not feel good about exercising all the time. We might not feel that we're doing exercise well enough because someone's probably doing it better than us, or the other person doesn't know how to do a proper exercise. It's not really the need to understand this stuff. Like, we try to keep ourselves physically, we want to establish a routine of ourselves. We want to keep a nice motion, keep a nice flow, keep a wealth of sun going down. This is going to be a little bit mindful about life as well. There are little things to know about mindfulness. I'll read you guys briefly right now. Mindfulness is obscure or exotic, familiar to us because it's what we already do, how we already are. It takes many shapes and goes by many names. Another one. Mindfulness is not special and added to do things we do. We already have the capacity to be present, and it doesn't require us to change who we are. We are cultivating the distinct qualities of simple practices that these scientific demonstrates the benefits of ourselves to our friends, our neighbors, the people we work with, the institutions and organizations we take part in, the location in which we live. And another thing to be mindful of, you don't need to change. The solution that asks us to change or become something that we are not is to fail us over and over again. Mindfulness is recognize and cultivate the best of who we are as a human being. So we're going to give you guys more inspirational words of wisdom, and I'll give you guys another one before we start as well. The hopelessness of fear is not what we seek, but the fear of not having no more hope is what we want. And that's from the author Jane Hopkins. Thank you guys.
Sleeping
nice quotes. I know I did. They were very, very well inspiring quotes. We had them all over. Vince Lombardi, the creator of the Super Bowl trophy as well. From Disney, the creator of Disney Aspirations. So Christopher Walken, famous movie star. Very, very good quotes we saw. And like I said, I wanted to talk to you guys about mindfulness. We talked about 3 so far. We're going to talk about mindfulness has the potential to become a transformative social phenomenon. And why can it do that? Because anyone can do it. Mindfulness practice a cultivating universe of human qualities does not require anyone to change their beliefs. Everyone can benefit, and it's easy to learn. It's the way of, another one is, it's the way of living. Mindfulness is more than just a practice. It brings awareness and experience into everything we do. It cuts down needless stress, even a little mass over our lives. Another one is, it's evidence-based. We don't have to take mindfulness with faith. Both the science and experience demonstrates its positive benefits for our health and happiness for our relationships. Now, we talked about
Joe Biden criticized President Trump
right there, right? And I just want you guys to know that mindfulness is very much the need to have an open mind of everything. I understand that's a little bit hard to grasp and very biased as well. But open-mindedness to what you know can comfort towards yourself is what I pretty much want to say. Because when you want to be self-aware, you want to have self-knowledge. So you want to be happy with what you can do. So to be mindful, you have to understand that you want to clear your path well and clear your path well. I do like when they say mindfulness is not something special that we add to do. I like this because when ourselves, we tend to stress ourselves very well and keep ourselves going, pushing ourselves to a boundary that we may not understand. We're trying to keep ourselves a little bit intact and not truly understanding what's going on. But in reality, it's kind of like life's little circumstance of how to get over a path that we do not know how to do. We're going to be doing another course based on some Aristotle. We're going to be doing 3 strategies of self-ownership, awareness, and a strategy that I like to also use well as another one is always be prepared for what you're not going to do right away.
So what are 3 techniques or strategies to help someone become more self-aware? In the course of researching my book, Insight, one of the things we did was very exhaustively examine these people that we called unicorns. Now, unicorns are people that did not start out as highly self-aware as adults and made absolutely transformational improvements in their level of self-awareness. And based on the things they taught me, I can suggest 3 things. The first is really a mindset. It's to make the decision that I want to know the truth. That's one of the things in my book that I call braver but wiser. Number 2 is simply to get more feedback. One of the things we see over and over again in the research on this is that other people can usually see us far more objectively than we see ourselves. The third tool is a little bit counterintuitive. A lot of times when people try to become more self-aware, they ask themselves why. Why did I do this? Why do I want that? But what my research has found pretty shockingly is that those questions don't result in any more insight. So the tool I recommend is called what, not why. So instead of asking, for example, why did I say something so mean to my husband? You might say, what do I want to do to change our relationship? One person that's a great anecdote of what happens when you improve your self-awareness is an executive I worked with a few years back. Let's call him Steve. And although Steve thought he was pretty amazing, he was doing a terrible job of leading that function. His people were intimidated by him. He would start yelling and screaming at them with the slightest provocation, and he clearly had absolutely no idea how he was coming across. And once we went through that process of getting feedback from his team, understanding the things he needed to work on, things like asking questions, showing empathy, being compassionate, things that he had completely missed in his career to date, Steve was able to completely turn around not just his own performance and not just his team's performance, but the way his function was performing from both a sort of work attitude and a morale standpoint, and also, probably more importantly, bottom line business results. You know, romance gets a bad rap a lot.
Well, great still, good evening once again. How are you all doing? Hope you guys are having a great night tonight. As we start off getting close to the halfway mark, I hope you guys enjoy those 3 strategies. Actually, I did like the one strategy, and it ties into play about this mindfulness that actually is about to be going here. And that it sparks innovation. As we feel with the world increasing complexity and uncertainty, mindfulness can lead to the effective resilience and low-cost response to seemingly strategy. And I thought that was very similar to what she was saying when it says ask what, not why. Too many of us ask why do I not look a certain way, why am I not smarter than the person next to me, why can't I understand things? And it's like I said, to go back to it, have an open mind on what you can. Being manifest is better than actually digest. Because when you digest something, it goes through you and leaves you. When you manifest it, you grow, build it, and build it stronger. So it's a very detailed way of how you want to understand what life is going about. Also, another way to be mindful is that, there's a way to break down the most popular mindful techniques. Although you can use apps and sounds and certain things and drinking a cup of tea, you want to mainly just focus on your attention. One of the most common ways to focus on your attention is anchor what is truly bothering you to keep you away from that attention. You want to really just roll down and keep things off your chest. Another thing is scan your body. What I mean by scan your body, understand that you can have your type of world. Now people understand oh, my body is my thing and I can do this. Yes, that's true. What I mean by scan your body is if you're not happy with yourself, like I said, with your body, try to be aware of what you're doing wrong. I myself did say something about this. I wanted to have a bigger arms, a bigger chest. So what I had to do to work out and probably lift weights and not even Wendy's Baconator probably every 2 weeks. I'm aware of it. And so it's the most things we can do. It's the awareness that we have in ourselves. Another way to keep yourself mindfulness and keep yourself open is absolutely just do nothing at one point. Take a nap. That's what it says here. Take a nap when you can. When you're feeling hungry, have a little snack. But make sure you keep yourself in a way that you're understanding why you're taking a snack. Why you're taking a snack. You deserve it. You deserve it. So when you do nothing, be mindful that you're doing nothing. And don't make it a habit that you're doing nothing. Another great thing is love kindness. Instead of focusing on techniques like breathing differently, or why we don't like someone, why we don't like our nurse, why we don't like our good, wish them goodwill and good direct to them. Maybe it'll be a rippling effect. Have some feelings of experience that you feel. Yes, I understand that the world's not nice and we can't like everyone as we wish when we were 5 years old. But we have to understand that these things of actually being a better person is probably better than doing this. A nice quote that I got from a movie called Kung Fu Panda from the little little raccoon. He says if you just put one drop on a wave, the whole ocean will ripple far away. And with that quote, I'll give you guys some ancient philosophers of Greek who were really wise and thought themselves with it. So here's some quotes by them, guys.
Excellence is not a gift, but a skill that takes practice. We do not act rightly because we are excellent. In fact, we achieve excellence by acting rightly. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, therefore, is not an act, but a habit. Be silent, or let thy words be worth more than silence. The oldest, shortest words, yes and no, are those which require the most thought. We have 2 ears and 1 tongue, so that we could listen more and talk less. I have often regretted my speech, never my silence. Sometimes you put up walls not to keep people out, but to see who cares enough to break them down. The ideal man bears the accident of life with dignity and grace, making the best of circumstances. Nothing comes from nothing. It is better for you to be free of fear lying upon a pallet than to have a golden couch and a rich table and be full of trouble. Falling down is not failure. Failure comes when you stay where you have fallen. The fates guide the person who accepts them and hinder the person who resists them. Why do you care so much about laying up the greatest amount of money and honor and reputation, and so little about wisdom and truth and the greatest improvement of the soul? Seek to learn constantly while you live. Do not wait in the faith that old age by itself will bring wisdom. People are like dirt. They can either nourish you and help you grow as a person, or they can stunt your growth and make you wilt and die. There are 2 sides to every question. It is impossible to live a pleasant life without living wisely and well and justly. And it is impossible to live wisely and well and justly without living a pleasant life. There are forces in nature called love and hate. The force of love causes elements to be attracted to each other and to be built up into some particular form or person. And the force of hate causes the decomposition of things. The man who makes everything that leads to happiness depends upon himself and not upon other men, has adopted the very best plan for living happily. This is the man of moderation, the man of manly character and of wisdom. Put more trust in nobility of character than in an oath. The secret to happiness is freedom, and the secret to freedom is courage. I never did anything worth doing by accident, nor did any of my inventions come by accident. They came by work. The strong do what they have to do, and the weak accept what they have to accept. Necessity is the strongest of things, for it rules everything. The secret of change is to focus all of your energy, not on fighting the old, but on building the new. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are fearful of the light. Happiness resides not in possessions and not in gold. Happiness dwells in the soul. Do not spoil what you have by desiring what you have not. Remember that what you now have was once among the things you only hoped for. He is a man of courage who does not run away, but remains at his post and fights against the enemy. The bravest are surely those who have the clearest vision of what it is before them, glory and danger alike, and yet notwithstanding, go out to meet it. You will never do anything in this world without courage. It is the greatest quality of the mind, next to honor. The most difficult thing in life is to know yourself. Man conquers the world by conquering himself. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. Know thyself.
Hope you guys enjoyed those quotes from our ancient philosophers back in the ancient Greek times. I was gonna finish up on these skills that they taught me. How skillfully passion, visualization, resting awareness, and reflection. It's always good to know about these stuff about yourself because you always want to be visually seeing what you can do. Even the blind can still see that someone is telling a false lie. Always be rested with it. And always keep yourself
morning, I
aware
said
of
tonight.
and reflect on the past and what you can do so you know what you can do better in the future. I want to leave you guys with those notes very well. And I want you guys to know that this will all just be a memory one day. We're all doing well. Hope this gets better. And Washington, you guys have a great day.
Hold on.